I'm Keith Timimi. I'm the chairman of VML Qais and also of Stanley Street Labs. So I was born in Basra, which is in the south of Iraq, and lived there till I was about 9. Then we moved to the UK. So I grew up in Britain, studied in London, and then I worked all around Europe. And then I was sent on a 4-month assignment to Singapore. That was in 1998, and I've pretty much been here ever since. Well, I guess I've always grown up in multicultural environments. So I was either the English kid in Iraq or the sort of weird, don't really know what kid in England, or the Angmo in Singapore. So I've always lived in a sort of multicultural environment. And although at times that has been maybe challenging to just try and work out who I am, but I think overall that has been a real big plus, because it's meant that I couldn't really take anything for granted. I think that the things that have the biggest influence on me is really just that gut feel that, you know, someone has put everything on the line to create something of their own that they care about passionately. And when you talk to someone, you know, some people will just light up when they talk about something that they really care about, or you'll watch them working and doing something and you'll be like, wow, I would have never even have thought of doing something like that. And I think particularly now, having become a father and seeing when my children create things that they care about, you know, they create a piece of artwork, or they build something out of Lego and tell me the story of these people in their Lego towns. When I see my kids now do something like that, that's probably the most inspirational thing of all for me. Yeah, right now I'm not getting that much time outside of work. I guess it's my dumb fault for sort of being involved in starting and running 2 companies. But when I do get time, obviously, you know, spending time with the family comes first, and that involves, as much as possible, traveling around the world and seeing them in the various places they are around the world, as well as obviously with my direct family here. I love to be on the water, so I did a little bit of yacht sailing for a while, and when I took friends out, normally we'd all end up in the water. So I had to establish a relationship as a very enthusiastic but not very good sailor. Yeah, that's always a really tough one, I think, for any entrepreneur. So yes, I'm married and have 2 kids here, so I've got a wonderful family. Got married around the same time that I started our main business, Qais Consulting, as it was then, which in hindsight was probably not a very good idea, but I did figure if I don't start this business now, and it's something I wanted to do, if I don't start the business now and then I have kids, it's going to become progressively harder to leave a corporate job and a salary and do that. So I figured that it was now or never, which I think was a good move to make. So I got 2 children, Layla, who's now 8, and Zeki, who's 5. And what I try to do as much as possible is be there in the mornings. So I'm there even if I just see them for 5 minutes before they head off to school. Make sure we sort of see each other in the mornings, and make sure that I'm back in the evenings. And we have a little routine in the evening, so we'll sort of read to the kids. Myself and Cara, my wife, will take one of the other kids, will read to them. They'll probably read to us. We might sort of play a little bit related to things they're doing at school, and then we'll sing to them and kiss them goodnight. So there's at least a kind of half an hour period in the evening that we're together. There's a football manager called Nigel Atkins, and he, until recently, managed my hometown team, which is Southampton Football Club. Unfortunately, he got sacked. He actually got sacked after a run of success. So he took Southampton from the 3rd tier of English football, which is now called League One, all the way up to the Barclays Premier League. And although he suffered a really, really bad start, he then started to get the club playing really well and climbing up the ranks. In fact, just before he sacked, he went to Chelsea, who are the European champions, got a 2-2 draw and then got sacked. So why does he inspire me? This person is incredibly optimistic all the time. It doesn't matter what happens. He will talk about that scenario in positive terms, in terms of what have we as a team learned from this, or what do we need to learn from this? If something has gone wrong, how do we analyze it? How do we think about it? And in his words, how do we put this to bed? So if let's say that the team has lost 5-1, you'll say, you know, we did not defend well enough. At set pieces, we did not have the right shape. When we attacked, we lacked intent. So he will describe what the problems were, and then he'll say, well, we're going to analyze this, and then we're going to put this one to bed. And tomorrow we're going to wake up, and we're going to think about how we're going to win the next game that we played. So I don't think I have a loud personality. I'm probably more introverted than extroverted. And I know some people may think that, may have this idea of the rock star entrepreneur, and that every entrepreneur has to be larger than life. You know, it has to be a Richard Branson or a Donald Trump or someone like that. And I don't think that's true. I think there certainly are entrepreneurs who are like that. But I think, if anything, most of the successful entrepreneurs you meet, are people who are really passionate about what they do, have developed a clear picture in their mind of what they want things to become like. And so they're constantly working towards this picture. And if anything, the entrepreneurs who I think tend to succeed the best are the ones who help their team to feel like they are the stars.